I'm hoping that the conversations in this meetup will help others, like we all have gone through the video that talks about data and theory doesn't bring things to life. Practice brings things to life. And that's why these sessions are important, that after you've watched the theories, listen to the theories, we come for these practical sessions where we now say, okay, what is the meaning of these things that we have been reading in our lives? Okay. And so I was saying that data is everyone's business, and data is something that everybody is dealing with every day, just that we're not paying attention most times. There's a concept called data awareness, which is being aware of the data you are generating per time. Every time you go and watch a video on YouTube, YouTube is recording some information about you. If you watch a video from the beginning to the end, YouTube assumes that you like it. That's why you finish watching the video. And so it records that, she likes this kind of movies. Now, if you start one and you don't finish, even if you were busy and that was the reason why you don't finish, YouTube will say, okay, because she didn't finish, she probably wasn't interested. All right. However, they can also say, oh, but this is like this other movie. If she likes this other movie, then she probably would like it. Maybe she left it off somewhere, and maybe we'll come back and suggest it to you that you left off this movie. Do you want to finish watching it? This is how data is being used to push our lives. Even the ads that you see online, Facebook has collected enough information about you to be able to tell that she will like this movie, she will like this thing. And so that's the power of data. If those initiatives of social media is catching you through, then it means data works. It means data is real. And so the question is, how do you also identify the data in your own life and use it to make what you are doing better? Or to make what you are doing better, to track what you are doing, and to take it to the next level. So that's the whole concept behind this. Most businesses will disappear, not because the business owners do not have the skill for the business, it's because they are not able to track the business. Tracking business can be very difficult, but having an understanding of data, even if you cannot do it by yourself, you know what you need, and you are able to tell whoever you want to do something for you what exactly you need, because you know what you need. The only problem is you probably don't know how to do it. All right. So this is why data literacy is important for everybody, so that everybody is able to say, I know what I need. I just don't know how to do it. And that's why I need a data analyst. That's why I need a data architect and things like that, depending on the size of your business, okay, or the kind of work that you do. So data is everybody's business. Everybody is generating data. As we are on this call, like I said earlier, we are generating data. When you do your bank transaction, you have generated data. There will be data sitting in the bank that you have done something. There will be in your email box that you transferred money, right? That's why you can pull the statement of your account. Pulling the statement of account is an evidence of data sitting somewhere. The only reason why you can see your statement of account since the beginning, since the day you opened your account, is because you are keeping track. Sorry, I clicked on something. It's because the reason why you can pull statement of data since the day you opened your account, statement of account, since the day you open your account, is because the bank is keeping record of all your transactions. And imagine that amount of transactions record sitting in a bank you have banked with for 20 years, for 15 years. Now, this is the power of data, right? And so data is everyone's business. So I want you to think about it in terms of people and what they do within a space. For example, every business has customer, every business has staff, every business has vendors. Everything your staff does can be translated to data. Everything your customer does can be translated to data. Everything your vendor does can be translated to data. Everything you, as the leader of the business, does can be translated to data. So it's important to know that, yeah, data is everybody's business. It's something that everybody is doing, and everybody is doing something that is related to data one way or the other. And so when we say that data describes a place, it describes a thing, it describes people, it describes events, it describes actions. That's what we are saying. That what are the critical information about that action, about that thing, about that place, about that person that will describe that person even when the person is not there? What are those information? Now, those are the things you will consider as critical data that you should track. It's not all data you need to track about anything, because by the time you try to track everything, it becomes difficult to even manage, right? That's why I often say that data is a bull, So it's important to be able to narrow down and say, I know what I really want. I know what I'm interested in. And how do you know what you're interested in? You look at what gives you problem the most in your business. What keeps you late at night thinking? What comes to your mind and makes you lose confidence concerning that thing you are doing, whether your job, whether your business, whatever it is. That is the data that you need that you don't have. Right? So, for example, as a business owner, I'm sure by the time you look at your accounts, you are wondering where your money went to. That means all the data around how money moves in your business is important to you. So when they say, oh, what is the different ways money moves in your business? You will think about when money comes in and when money goes out. So that means when money comes in is revenue. So everywhere you collect money should be tracked. When money goes out, is your spending. That means every way you spend money should be tracked. Is it making sense? I don't want to talk too far before I don't say, what you've been saying is money, I don't understand. So is this making sense to you so far? Hello, are you there? Can you hear me? Hello? Are you talking? I can't hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so I said, is what I'm saying, is it making sense so far?
Yes, making sense. Sorry, I muted and I was talking. I was responding. I didn't know because I muted myself.
Okay, so thank you. So I want us to use you as a case study, right? In identifying what data.
Yeah.
Now, I want us to use what you do to as a case study to say, okay, for example, now, what do you do so that people who join us will? And I hope you have a pen and paper because we want to do an exercise about data now. And we're going to identify what are the data in your space that you need to track. All right. So what do you do? Hello, I can't hear you if you are speaking.
Basically, um, sales, stock,
What?
just sales and stock. What goes out,
Okay. What
our
business
stocks.
do you do?
Sorry,
What kind of business do you do?
baking.
Okay, so you run a bakery.
Yes, please.
So if they say what keeps you late at night now, like what are those things that concerns you about your bakery? What would you say they are?
The inability to track profits or maybe the costs and all that, just to know. Inability to track your actual profits is what that really bothers me.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
all right, thank you. So I want to use that as a case study to look at what we're talking about here, right? So
Yeah.
now, we're talking about data and we're saying that data will help us to track anything, right? And see, another word for data is records. Okay? So when
Yeah.
you say data, you're still talking about the records of any business, any organization, any place, and all of that. So what we're saying is that you want to track your records. So when you're saying data, you're tracking records. When you say you're tracking, you want to track profit, you want to track cost, we are still talking about your records. Because so let's talk about costs now, for example. What makes up cost in your kind of business?
The ingredients,
Okay.
the electricity,
All right.
the equipment.
Okay, so let me do something.
So,
I want to share another screen so that we will track this in a notepad, in a note. Okay, 1 minute. I want to take note of what you're saying, but I want to open a note to do that. I'm going to stop sharing this.
I thought we were-
So we're going to do a practical of how you can track your data and understand your own data in your own space today. All right, so and we're going to be working with my favorite tool, Google. I love working with Google interface. All right, so here we are. Okay, so what we are talking about now, we're saying what are your critical data elements and how do we track them? All right, so how do we track them? Okay, so I'm going to go to my Google Drive. Can you see my screen? I'm going to my Google Drive. I want to open a new document. All right. Okay. So we're saying a bakery, right? And the question is, what is the concern in our bakery? What's the concern in our bakery? And we're saying that the concern in our bakery is profit. Is profit, right? Is profit and cost, which naturally should be a concern, right? Now, whenever we talk profit and cost, we also must, that means when we talk about profit, we are looking at inflow, we are looking at your inflow and outflow, right? What is going out and what is coming in. Are you still there?
Yes, please.
All right. So now, whenever you talk about data, we have to talk about the processes. We have to talk about the processes, the activities, because data is generated by processes and activities. There's something you must do that must create the data. And so before you can say there's profit, there's something that you must do that must create the profit. When you talk about cost, there's something you must do that must create the cost, right? So
Yes.
it's important that we have that at the back of our mind. So when we talk about data, we said that data will represent the activities of a person. So that's processes. And one of the reasons why many times we struggle to even put data together in an environment is the processes. If processes are not organized in a way that you can track, then it will also be difficult to keep records. Somebody goes to collect flour, for example, in a bakery, and just takes a bowl of it. You will never be able to track it because it was not measured. The process that doesn't measure cannot be tracked. Can you see? So
Okay.
these
Yeah.
are things that happen. For example, there was a time that we had a scenario where you buy in kgs and you use in cups. Now, if you buy in kg and use in cups, there's no way you can ever track, except you convert your cups to kgs or your gram equivalent so that you can now track. And even if you convert it to your grams equivalent, if you are using it without writing down when you use, there's no place to refer to know how it happened. So this is data for you, right? And please, if there's anything I say you don't understand, please call me back. So we want to use this profit and cost as something to highlight what are the data around profit and cost. That's where we are going. We want to know what are the data around profit and cost. And we said for us to be talking about profit, there must be inflow and outflow. Whenever we are talking about cost, we are going to be saying what activities lead to cost. So anytime you are saying you want to know something, the question you ask, what activities lead to this? Because it is in the activity that you can track the data. What activities lead to this? So for cost, for example, let's talk about cost first because it's the simplest thing. What are the activities that lead to cost in a bakery? What are the activities that lead to cost in a bakery? Now, as a human being, what activities lead to cost in a bakery? Now, as a human being, you are very limited in what you can have in your head. So I want us to first do a brainstorming. So for you now, what are the activities in your bakery that will lead to cost?
Okay, the activities in the bakery that leads to cost.
Yeah.
Cost of ingredients.
So is that your purchase?
Maintenance.
Okay. So
Yes,
purchase.
purchase.
Okay. Maintenance. Yes.
Maintenance. Well, general maintenance of the bakery, then the the equipment,
Yes.
the lifespan of the equipment, electricity,
Mm-hmm.
salary,
Mm-hmm.
salary, like gas, I don't know. Just
Yes. Good. Now I like the fact that you got to I don't know. Now
rent.
so you okay, rent. Okay, good. So like that, so many things. But if you don't track, even if you track, you can't keep everything in your head, right?
Yes.
That's why record keeping is important. Now, I want to show you something about this data that we are talking about and using AI to navigate it. Okay, so now I want to use Gemini today to brainstorm this. So what we are talking about is we want to identify the cost in a bakery. I want to know what are the data items that are within a bakery so that you want to know that, right? So we have come
Yeah.
to our Gemini now, and what we just said, I'm going to start with it. Cost. What are the activities that lead to cost in a bakery? I am interested, yes, in the data items. Data items and how to track. Give me a list of data items. Yeah, and categories. Can you see my prompt?
Yes.
I'm going to copy it so that you can share it with you later. Hmm? Now, so this
Okay.
is you trying to understand your bakery and the data of your bakery with the support of AI. Okay? So look at
Okay.
what is going to tell us as feedback. So let me document this prompt now. So anybody can do their own depending on their kind of business. Come and see, let's see what he said. He said bakery operational costs fall under 5 main categories: direct material, direct labor, production overhead, packaging and distribution, administrative staff, and sales overhead. See? Now, it has put it in the categories. Direct materials. Direct materials in your recipe execution, ingredient spillage or spoilage, recipe testing. You know that we're not even thinking about all that when we're thinking of our costs, right?
Yeah.
See,
Yes.
giving us and it's showing it to us now. So tracking data items, unit of measurements or density, the purchasing price, the usage versus actual quantity. right? Your wastage. This is how to track your cost, okay? Now, recommended tracking method, ingredient master and production. See, ingredient master table linked to batch production sheets. See, we are going to talk about this tracking method later, right? But first and foremost, you just even want to understand your data. And just reading this now, you can see that some things you don't pay attention to in your business is your cost. Testing a recipe, spoilage, wastage, spillage. Okay, so direct labor, mixing, shaping, baking, that's your direct labor. And you say staff ID, hourly rate, tracking based on what you are, tracking logs, batch sheets, that's your production. Now, prep work and decorating, clock in and clock out. That is, are you clocking in? Are we clocking in and clocking out when we are producing? These are ways you can track how long it's taking to produce, right? Then shift setup and downtime. These are your labor areas. And all of these are contributing to your cost. Your production overhead, your oven, your mixer, your chiller energy consumption, right? Kilowatts. Are we able to track how much gas we are using, how much power we are using? We just buy credit and keep using. Now, equipment, maintenance and wear and tear. Water usage volume, how much water are you using? Depreciation of your assets, cleaning and sanitation, the soap you are buying and workers, labors that goes into, these are all costs. Packaging and distribution, the things that you use to package, your boxes, your labels, your nylons and all of that. Your transportation, your delivery logistics, your damaged goods, goods returned. You supply a supermarket, they return things. Are we tracking all of these things, right? Then it says inventory bill of material and delivery logs are ways you can track these things. We're going to talk about that. AI is not going to give you perfect answers, but it gives you insight in the direction you can be looking at, okay? And so we have some form of direction with what we are saying here. Admin and overhead. Now, these are all things that you can track. So key data items to prioritize, your ingredient unit and conversion, you see, your batch yield and your actual yield. So what is, based on your recipe, what should you be yielding? Actually, what happens at your production, your overrun time. So these are some of the things is telling us. But you and I know that, well, after reading all these things, does it really make sense what I'm supposed to do next? It's quite still complicated. Or maybe it's me that is assuming. Does it really make sense, everything we are going to do now? Let me hear your.
That's it.
Huh? So what do you think?
Somehow it doesn't really, it does make sense, but somehow you are looking at the stress in it, the anyway, it makes sense.
Mm,
But it's surprising that these are the things you're supposed to have been
tracking.
tracking.
Yeah. So I'm going to take this response and put it out there. So now this is an exercise that I want you to continue to do for your bakery in understanding your data items. Okay. Now, see, why does a bakery owner need to know these things? A bakery owner needs to know these things so that you know what you are doing. When you even call, let's say you call in a tech person now that I want you to digitize my bakery. If you don't understand all these things, this person is just going to come and collect your money, because the truth is that that person too may not even understand these things, because even if you that run the bakery do not understand these things, then that person is not likely to understand it better, because he doesn't have the experience
Yeah.
of your business. You are the one with the owner of the experience of your business. So this is what data literacy does for you. Like what we are doing now, we're saying, what are the data that should be in your bakery? What are the data that you should be tracking in your bakery? The reason why we're using AI is that we want something robust. Then we will narrow it down. Because what happens is that AI will tell you the large version of it. But the question is this reasonable for your size of bakery? Okay. And so how do we get to that? It is by giving it more information. Okay. And say, oh, thank you so much, Gemini. The size of my bakery, I run a small bakery, and I want an approach to tracking that I can grow over time. Yes? Simple as ABC. I want an approach to tracking that I can grow over time. I have limited tech skills. So I need it simple. Let's see what it's going to do. Can you see what it's saying now? Tracking bakery costs doesn't require complex software right away. The key is starting with manual setup to build consistency, then introducing lightweight automation as your volume grows. Can you see? Here is the 3-stage maturity model designed to grow with your business. Starting with pencil and paper and moving towards automated tracking. So it starts explaining. Stage 1, paper and clipboard. Keep a single laminated sheet and print clipboard in a baking area. Staff log. You see? Bag or unit of ingredients opened. Number of items baked. Number wasted. Weekly envelope method. Keep a physical envelope for all your purchases. End of week review. Spend 20 minutes every Sunday adding up all the receipts and total items. Can you see? This is still data, and it can be as simple as biro and paper. Right? The problem with biro and paper is that when it comes to calculating, it can become a little complex. But it's a very good place to start when you are still learning the ropes. It's not bad. In fact, I don't believe that you should eliminate biro and paper. I only believe that after you have written it in biro and paper, you should translate it to a digital space where you can keep easily, refer to easily, track easily. Okay? So this is for us to just first understand that this is how to understand this data thing. First, you have to know what your question is. What is our question today? Cost. What is my cost? That's our question. Then we move to say, what are my cost items? If I don't know what my cost items are, I don't know what to track. From what we have seen today, we know that we need to track even when we do recipe testing, we should track. Even when we waste, we should track. That is how to know our costs. Okay? Our labor, how many hours we are spending at work, we should track. Then it talks about recipe costing templates. Create a simple basic Google or Excel with 3 simple tables: list of ingredients, costs, master recipe, cost of goods sold. Okay? What is cost of goods sold? Is the your ingredients costs, right? So now we are going to talk about this in details as we grow. But what I am trying to achieve with today is to help you see your important data. That recipe might not be something that you have considered as data to your business before now, but recipe is so critical to your business. If you want to track cost, you must track your recipe. Okay? And so it also has to be documented. So that is also very important to understand. Okay? So today we have identified some costs We have identified your recipe as one of the things that you must track if you must know your cost, right? And
Yeah.
how did we get here? We started with a question. What is my biggest pain point? My cost and my profit. We have not even gotten to profit yet. We are still talking about cost. So the assignment is the profit part. You are going to prompt AI to talk about it. Talk to AI as if AI is your consultant and say to it, just speak in your basic English. It is not, it doesn't need any wisdom from you. It just needs you to talk like a 3-year-old so that it can tell you everything. And the goal is
Okay.
track my cost in my business, and I don't know the data that I need to be tracking so that I can tell my profits. What data do I need to track so that I can tell my profits? That is
Profits.
okay. What data do I need
Okay.
to track so that I can tell my profits at the end of the month? Okay. So this is,
Okay.
yes. So this is your assignment. Remember, we said data describes actions, people, things, places in an environment, in any space. So for us to be able to tell our profit, the question is, what data must we track in our business? So as a business owner, that is the work that you need to ensure in your business, that whatever data needs to be tracked is tracked, so that at the end of the day, even if you get an accountant, the accountant will not be able to do his or her work without that data being tracked. And this is the essence of data literacy. Okay? That I now understand what data means to my business and what data of my business are, and how to track them, or who to look for to help me track them. Because I don't necessarily have to be the one tracking it, but at least I must know what I want to tell that person to come and do for me. Make sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's all from me today. You have any
That,
questions for me? And
sorry?
I said, do you have any question for me about data, about what data is? Does this class help you to understand what data is in your environment?
Yeah, you said data is a record,
Yes,
day-to-day record of activities.
yes,
Okay.
fantastic. So this week, the assignment is to identify the data for your profit and loss that needs to be tracked. Okay? Because
Data
yes,
for
your
profit,
profit and loss,
profit and loss.
yes, with the help of AI,
That that needs to be what?
tracked
That
in your
doesn't-
bakery,
that need to be
tracked in your bakery with the help of
okay.
AI.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all these things that we have gotten from Gemini today, and I'll share it with you. Try and make out time to go through them. They will really help you in
Okay.
understanding. This is becoming more than a data literacy class. It's becoming a digital. It's becoming a digital class, so training on how to get digitalized, right?
Abby.
So I'm going to
Okay.
show you. So
Thank you.
yes, yes, yes. Do you have any question for me?
No. For now, I think I like it that it's short and straightforward.
All
So
right.
let me go and study this and then do it so that I don't move too fast and forget the other one.
Very important. Very important. So I'm going to share this with you now. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you.
Your email address again.
Deliciousbakes@gmail.com.
Okay, I have it. Okay, so I'm going to share it with you now. It's going to your
All
email.
right.
All right. Thank you
Oh,
very much for coming.
thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.